Hey guys, Jacob here. It is currently October 12th, 2021, and this is going to be this week's vendor reset. As usual, we're going to be starting at the front desk vendor at the base of ops. The named weapon they're selling this week is going to be the safety distance. The stats on this are pretty low, so I wouldn't recommend picking this one up unless you guys absolutely want it. I am going to scroll through a few more of these items in case you guys want to pick any of this stuff up, but overall, nothing really too crazy for sale at the front desk vendor. Now, if you take a right here and go under the helipad, you guys will see the clan quarters sign right here. If you guys enter these doors, you will see the clan quarters. Shout out to DOD and Kamikaze Von Doom. If you guys take a right through this doorway, you will see the clan vendor. This week he's selling the Sacrifice chest piece. This is the perfect glass cannon. If you guys do not have this, I would recommend grabbing it. It only has 10% weapon damage. It does have max weapon handling, and explosive resistance is pretty useless on this piece in my opinion. But if you don't have one and you just want to have a piece until you find a better one, I would recommend grabbing it so you can go ahead and just use it for raids and DPS builds. They're also selling this T821 with max damage hearts of cover if you guys need that for an SMG build. They're also selling max critical hit damage and health damage for this SIG 716 and max damage to armor on this black market SASG 12 if you guys need that for a shotgun build. But overall, that's all they're really selling at the clan vendor this week. Next location is going to be the Theater Settlement. This week they're selling the Firm Handshake gloves, and if you guys don't have these, I would highly recommend picking these ones up. For one, they have max weapon damage, obviously status effects because they're named, and critical hit damage, and you can max it out, so you guys will have 3 triple stat Sokolov Concern Firm Handshake gloves, and I would recommend picking these up if you don't have them. Also, if you already have max and you just need max weapon damage, you could buy 2 pairs of these, which they will cost you 15,000 credits, which is a good amount of change, especially if you're low on currency. But if you need the stats and you're new, then I'd recommend grab them so you can go ahead and max out your builds. I'm going to scroll through a few more items in case you want to pick any of this stuff up, but overall, that's the only item I'd recommend picking up at the Theater Settlement. Next vendor is going to be the Campus vendor. This week they're selling the Punch Drunk Douglas and Harding mask. This one has max headshot damage, obviously, weapon handling, and weapon damage. You can obviously get rid of the weapon handling if you want to, and pretty much put headshot, or not headshot, my bad, critical hit damage and critical hit chance. But I know a lot of you guys use the 2-piece DNH for the stability, so maybe you guys want to use this on a pistol or something like that for a shield build, or overall you just want to have more handling for your sidearm. But overall, that's all they're really selling at the Campus Settlement this week. Nothing really else worth picking up in my opinion. Next is going to be DZ West. This week they're selling the Virginian lever action rifle. If you guys need this, I'd recommend picking it up. At the same time though, the stats on this are pretty low, so I would actually save your currency until you can find a better one or farm for a better one. I'm going to scroll through a few more of these items in case you guys want to pick any of this stuff up. But overall, nothing too crazy at DZ West. The few items I will point out, in case you guys may have high potential to use these, are the almost max stat roll for the Bellstone Armory gloves that have critical hit damage, and the Providence knee pads in case you guys need those, which have almost max weapon damage as well. Next is going to be DZ South, and this week they're selling the apartment. I know a lot of you guys have been trying to get this for a very, very long time. The stats on this are pretty low. Obviously it's not a 15% SMG or a max critical hit chance, but if you guys don't have this, I would recommend picking this up so you can just get your hands on it, basically. I know a lot of people have been farming for this damn thing in the DZ literally for months and having trouble trying to get it, and if you have 152 credits, then you can just buy this, max out the swap speed to something else, like damage charts off cover or critical hit damage depending on what you want, and then just use optimization if you have this, the stuff stacked, and then just max out this gun, and then you have the apartment. But overall, I am going to scroll through a few more of these items in case you guys want to pick any of this stuff up, but that's really about it for DZ South. The final DZ on the list is going to be DZ East. This week they're selling the new reliable. This one, the stats on this are pretty low on this one. I'm going to scroll through a few more items in case we pick any of this stuff up. The 2 items I will recommend are going to be this Walker & Harris holster and this Fenris mask if you guys need either of those, especially if you're new, or you can just farm loot allocations, but those are the only 2 items I find that'd be worth picking up or might have some use to them. The final vendor is going to be the vendors in New York. Keep this in mind, they didn't sell any named items, but if you guys need any of this stuff, I would highly recommend picking it up. But overall, nothing really worth picking up in my opinion, unless you absolutely need it or if you're new. But there are a few items I guess you guys could find useful. Sorry, I cannot speak. I'm tired as hell. But in case you guys need this stuff, then I would recommend grabbing it. Now, the next vendor is going to be over here at Roy Benitez, which is right around the corner. And this week, he's not really selling anything, in my opinion, that's worth picking up. It's pretty low stat stuff, but if you guys need any of it, I would recommend grabbing it. Hopefully, in the next major update, and I guess when the official update drops in December, if we're going to be getting it, unless something happens, maybe they'll update the vendors where they sell actual useful gear and stuff that's not absolutely terrible. I would expect the vendors to sell at least 1 or 2 items that have some value to them and have really good stats on them. But overall, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more Division 2 content, and I'll catch you guys all later.